Hey guys, how's it going? Fancy here.
Anti-fancy, Steve, whatever.
So we're here for another week to review our next movie that we watched, which is Flirt.
Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie, dog. Go ahead.
Well, in case you didn't catch the title because of Steve's blatant hate for the movie, it's called Flirt, made in 1995. So again, since you're so passionate about this movie,
I got this.
Well,
Boy, do I got this.
Let's just start it off here.
So this movie is called Flirt, right? And the premise about the shit, it's a love story told in three different ways. Not even three different ways, but three different groups of people, three different settings or whatever, right? But it's the same fucking love story, right? Very small changes in the story. It's essentially the same story three fucking times, right? So the first story you watch is about a guy. He's in bed with his chick, whatever, and she's asking him all these questions like, do we have a future, and this, that, and the third, and blah, this give you whoop-de-whoop. He's like in typical guy fashion, like, I don't know if we got a fucking future. So he kept it real with her, which I really enjoy, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit gonna be alright. And he got chicks on the side, he's fucking his married girl and all that shit. I'm like, this man is straight up, he playing out here. I'm like, man, he doing this thing, I'm eating my popcorn and shit, this shit is alright, right? And so he goes through the motions, he calls the chick the married chick that he really likes, right? He calls the married chick that he really likes, and he's trying to see if like he has a chance with her or he's just gonna go back to the other chick. Basically, he's trying to decide between the two girls that he has at the moment, right? And he doesn't get a hold of her at first, and then you see him like he goes through the motions, talk to his friends about it, like what should I do, and blah, just giving whoop-de-whoop. Of course, his one homegirl is like, you're not the type of guy for her, for the married chick, because you're a flirt. You fucking around all these other chicks. You can't fucking commit. This and the third. Blah 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 blah. It's essentially some shit that a lot of people go through in their life, right? Especially when they're younger.
Yeah.
And then he ends up making out with her and shit. And I don't know. I really enjoyed it. And then come to find out, he's friends with, or I guess they were friends. He was friends with the husband of the married chick that he was fucking. And then the husband knew that they were fucking, but they were still talking like the shit was cool. And then he thought that his wife was gonna leave her for him, and then he was trying to call her and shit. I was like, damn, this dude bold as fuck. Like,
yeah.
And like, dude's sitting there just talking to him about it, and he's like really crying and upset.
While he's doing this, he has a gun.
I was gonna get to the gun. Yeah, I was gonna get to the gun.
So
like the dude's really upset.
Yeah.
The dude's really upset about the shit, right? And and like, yeah, he does have a gun. But I feel like my man wasn't even worried about the gun. Like he was like, oh, like, he's trying to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was more worried about getting to the chick than the husband sitting in front of him with the gun, telling him why he's upset about it, and this and the third. And then of course the dude, he gets super pissed and he's like, call her. He calls her, doesn't answer, then she calls back, talks to him, but then he's like, hey, your husband's here. And then she doesn't want to talk to him, so he hangs the phone up and he gets all super upset and he's all sad. The dude goes to fucking give him a hug and whatever, make him feel better, right? And he shoots the fucking guy in the face. He shot the dude in the face, like point blank range, man. Fuck all this shit up on the side of his face, right? And so like these guys take him to the hospital or whatever, and then there's a scene, and there's a nurse and then a doctor, and he's about to sew his face up, and they're talking, and it's like, this is gonna hurt. Think about something pleasant or whatever. So he starts thinking about explaining how he's thinking about a woman, how he's caressing them, and they're about to have sex, and this, that, and the third. And then the nurse, of course, she's getting all hot and bothered or whatever, right? And then after that scene, he realizes the chick that he really wants to be with was the chick that he left at the beginning in the apartment. So he goes to call her and tries to chase her down before she gets to the airport or whatever, right? Cool. So I really enjoyed it. That within this, the very next part of the movie is the same fucking story again. right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
so this time it's a gay guy, and not that it matters that he's gay, but it's a gay guy in I think Germany.
Germany, yeah.
And it's the same story. The lines are very fucking. I think it's the same fucking lines.
It's the same.
It's just told with like a different accent or a different flavor to it, right? Same fucking motions. They all say the same shit. The dude ends up talking to the wife of the guy that he's sleeping with, and then she gets shot in the fucking face, right? The only thing different is at the end, he doesn't fucking chase the guy down. He doesn't get back with the guy, right? So that's the major difference between the first one and the second. And then you get to the third one, and it's the same fucking thing again, right? But it starts off with some weird, like Japanese play rehearsal shit that I didn't really understand at all. But then, like, once you get through that part, it goes into the same fucking story. And then the guy who's, I guess, the director of the play or whatever, is his wife's in the play and the girl he fucking's in the play, right? I was like, and then it's the same story, and then the girl, it's about the girl. The girl ends up getting shot in the face by the wife of the fucking of the guy that she was the director of the play. And then the same thing with the hospital, sewing her face up, and her telling the story, and then about the guy. It was the same fucking thing 3 times in a row. And like, I know what he's about to say, like every movie's the same, like bad guy, good guy fucking wins at the end of the day, right? Which is fine, and they're all told, but they're all told in a different way, right? Completely different way, even though it's the same outcome.
Yeah.
They're all told in a different way, right? We all know the good guys gonna win at the end, 9 times out of 10. But we like to see what's gonna happen in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? But in this case, it's the same movie 3 times. So you watch pretty much a short film, what, about 20, 25 minutes a piece? You watch a short film 3 times in a row with different characters saying the same exact shit with very small differences in the middle and at the end of the movie. I feel like if you watch the first one, you don't have to watch the next one. And like, it's not even that. Because I actually enjoyed the first story. But seeing that shit 2 more times, it was like a waste of another hour of my fucking life. Like, and then I had to read the subtitles and shit, and I'm like, bro, like, come on. Like, I don't mind reading subtitles. That's not the thing. But I don't want to read subtitles of the shit I just watched. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit was. If you watch the first 25, if you watch the first story of the movie, watch it. I don't hate it. But don't watch the rest of this shit, because it's just the same thing over and over again.
So I really liked the movie. I thought it was great. Because, and I don't, so the dialogue is the same, but there are differences that I think are worth paying attention to, and that actually have to speak to a larger message of the film. So what I liked first about it was that, we were talking about Wind River in the last movie and how it had like a very consistent bleak tone. This kind of jumps back and forth, which I really liked. So it's, the first 5 minutes start off as like very serious, like you're not really sure where it's going. It feels like a very dramatic piece. And then, it kind of lightens up a little bit. It goes back and forth from being like very dramatic, weaving in some like almost play influences in there with, these groups of characters that are giving like asides and stuff like that, which I thought was really cool. It's not something that you really see too much in movies anymore, but the humor in it is very dark. Like, I mean, we were both laughing about the main character of the first film, Bill, getting shot in the face, but it's done in a very funny way. You just have to see it.
That shit was funny as fuck.
It's all of a sudden, and then like you have like this drunk businesswoman dancing like over his body.
Yeah.
Like, she's just very weird. She falls, she starts crying, and she's trying to get back up. Like, it's very off-putting that you kind of don't know how to react to it, and that's what makes it so funny, for me anyway. So the second story is the same, but I guess not. It's similar, but not all 3 of the stories end the same way. So the first story, he goes and he chases after the girl, and the second story, the main character is Dwight, and he, some guy gives him a jacket. He's waiting out in the cold, decides that he's not going to chase after his lover, and that's the way it ends. And then in the third one, the Japanese woman decides, she gets shot in the face, comes out of the hospital, and her lover is actually there, not the married director, but the other director, the one that she was seeing from before, is there waiting for her. So that has that's the only one that has a happy ending. So for me, what's interesting is you can interpret that because all three of these stories are similar, that they have a similar ending. They have a happy romantic ending. Or you could just take it as for what it is. Like, these end the way that it is. Like, the first one, you get no resolution. The second one, you do. The guy ends up quitting. And the third one, you get your typical, like, Hollywood love story where everything, like the two lovers end up together and everyone lives happily ever after, right? So that's what I liked about it. So as far as, like, tonal shifts, like, it was varied, but it didn't feel off-putting or anything like that. And there's room for interpretation for the movie, which I like. It's thought-provoking, unlike most other movies, that you might watch. Just kind of, I don't know, they're just movies. This felt like it made me think about it. That's what I like. It made me think about a lot of things that I don't usually think about when I'm watching, like Deadpool or I don't know, anything else.
Yeah, because anything else is just mindless entertainment, and then you feel like you had to think about this, which you like because you had to think and whatever, right?
Yeah,
it made you think.
I'm cool with mindless entertainment, but I like stuff that actually tries to be a little bit different. Like, don't give me the same thing all the time. Give me some variation, and this movie was different, so that's why I feel.
Bro, you just said don't give me this. Don't give me variation. It was the same thing.
It wasn't. It wasn't though. It wasn't. So like, okay, I'll give you another example. So even the third story taking place in Japan, the people react differently to the situations. Like when she's talking to the nurse, she's thinking about it because that's the way Japanese culture is. Like, it's not proper to like actually talk about sexual stuff in the open, right?
Right.
And then you have like characters also, like, this is something I've noticed, like just on the trains and stuff, people are like reading like nudie magazines out in the open, and that's completely fine. And this, like, when it's moving through Tokyo, it shows you people doing that, which I thought was cool. It's like, oh hey, I recognize that, like, and that's definitely the way that it is in Tokyo. And then also in New York, there was just there's enough variation in there to appreciate it. But if you go into the movie thinking like, oh hey, like, you just immediately shut yourself off, and I think that may be why you might not like it. I think you need to be more open-minded. I think you need to be more open-minded and look for the differences.
I noticed the differences. I noticed all the shit he's fucking talking about, right? I mean, the stuff that he's talking about. I noticed all of that shit. But it's just, I wanted a different story, bro. Like, I understand people are different in different parts of the world. I've been around the world a few times. I understand that people are going to react differently in different fucking places. Cool. I get that. But you would tell me the same fucking story, 3 different languages, same dialogue. Well, essentially the same shit happened.
Same dialogue, but different endings, though. They all had different endings.
Okay, they had different endings. They had different endings. You're not sure what happened at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
The second one, the guy just fucking quit because he's whatever. And the third one, her guy's waiting outside of the hospital. What else is different?
That's what I'm saying. It's not the exact same story.
Well, okay.
It's very similar, but
outside. So if you cut if the movie ended right after they finished getting sewed up, what else is different?
The ending, the way that they like.
If the movie ended right after the hospital part, and they didn't show the lovers coming or not coming or not getting found, what else is different?
The way that each character interprets these different actions. So, like I said, with the Japanese story, also too in the Japanese story, she doesn't get shot by the wife. She actually shoots herself. Remember? So like, there's that reel that the cop kicks over, and she's hugging the wife, but still pointing the gun at herself, and she gets scared and she shoots herself.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
See, so there are differences in there, but it's things that you gotta look for the gold in there. You gotta do a little bit more shifting in there.
Get the fuck out of here. Man, look, check it. We ain't gonna agree on this shit at all. I fucking hated it. I'm not even gonna bullshit you, man. Like, I fucking hated it. Like, like I said, if you watch the first one and you like it, by all means. Yeah, I could have saved yourself an hour. Just watch the first part of it.
It's not even that long. It's like an hour and 15 minutes.
Exactly. Save yourself an hour. Watch the first part. You know what I'm saying? And then, if you're gonna watch it, watch the first part. Sit down, watch the first part, eat your popcorn and shit, and then leave it on. Go do your laundry. Go do what else you want to do. And come back. It's gonna be. You was like, oh, okay, this is about to happen. Somebody. Oh, yep, got shot. I'm telling you, you gonna this predictable as fuck because you just fucking watched it.
Oh, man.
That's just me talking, man. I don't recommend this shit at all. Like, not even a little bit.
I highly recommend it. I think it's worth watching, and depending on what your mood is, like if you're into something dramatic or funny, this movie has it all. Go see it.
It does not have it all. It does not have it all. It does like it does not have it all. There's no way. There is some good drama. I'll give it some highlights. There's some good drama in it. I really did enjoy the first part of it with the guy and how he's just such a guy. Like,
yeah,
fuck these bitches. Like I don't know what do you want from me.
Yeah.
I've had that conversation with some girls before. What do you mean with all that? I don't know. So I like that part, but the rest of them, man, I'd rather would have did something else from my time. Hey, if you like the movie, #fancy. I feel like you might get one person. And then if you don't like it, anti-fancy. I feel like I might get 3 people anti-fancy because I don't think anybody else is going to watch it. Honestly, I don't think anybody's going to take the time to watch it. Plus, it's kind of old.
Yeah,
some people might go back and watch it. You know, some people don't like watching older movies, but if you feel like it, let us know what you think. If not, it's cool. I'll take it as a win for me. Put another L on your side. I ain't got nothing else to say. But shit, let me know what you think.
Yeah. Cool. So anyway, that's all we got for this week. We'll see you guys next week with some more movies. Thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.
It's a dumpster fire.